Hello. Hope you're doing well when you're watching this video. My name is Nora, and this is Section 2, Group 10's Automation Flow for Assignment 1. To begin, I'll walk you through a high-level overview of the automation process and a completeness check before showing the actual flow in action. Let's get started. As requested by Smith and Salmon LLP, we have developed an RPA process using Microsoft Power Automate that streamlines client communication for documentation requests. And so here's a quick summary of how our automation works. The flow begins by going through each row in the tracking sheet. That's what this function is doing here. And so for each client, the code checks the status column to determine whether it is marked as outstanding or not. And that's what this function is doing. And so if status is equal to outstanding, then the condition would then be true, and then an email would be sent automatically to the relevant client based on the email listed in the sheet requesting the specific outstanding documents. And after sending, the RPA output column on the spreadsheet is then updated to reflect whether an email was sent or not. And so if the document was outstanding and an email was sent, then email sent would be updated in the column, and vice versa for if there wasn't an email sent. And now to actually get into the process, let's begin with the Excel file here. For more detailed instructions on how to get to your table to this point, I would refer to the user guide. But to have gotten to this point, you would have had to have created and named the table. So as you can see here, our table name is request list, and you would have added our two new columns here, ID and RPA output. And so what these two new columns are doing here is the ID column represents a unique identifier for each row, and the RPA output shows whether an email was sent after the flow runs. And the RPA output column is very central to our completeness check, and it acts as a real-time validation system. So as the automation runs, this column updates each row to either email sent, as I explained, if the status was outstanding and an email was triggered, an email not sent if no action was needed, or if the status was under review or completed. And so after the flow runs, this will be auto-populated. This gives Smith and Zalman LLP a clear, centralized way to verify which clients were contacted and ensures no missing communications. Moving back to the actual Power RPA file, I'm already signed in here, as you can see. So I'll tap on the list rows present in a table function here. And you want to make sure that your location here is OneDrive for Business, document library is OneDrive, and that your file here is the same file as the tracking sheet, and that these match up. And so I've already linked it here, but you want to make sure that it matches up. And then for the table, it'll be whatever you name the table. For us, it was request list, so that's that. And you also want to make sure that your OneDrive is connected. So my OneDrive is connected here, so make sure that it's your email. And you want to do the same thing for these two functions for update a row. So again, OneDrive for Business, OneDrive, the file, the table, and our key columns here are ID and the key value is ID. And so we're seeing here, this is the true function under the condition. And so our RPA output here will be email sent because then an email will be sent. And vice versa for the false output, email not sent. And again, making sure that both of these are connected to your OneDrive. Wonderful. And so now that we have ensured that our Power Automate is all connected to our OneDrive, we then want to save here. And now we can test this flow. So I'm going to test it here. You want to test it manually. Now I'm connected, and now I can run it. And so now any second emails will be going into my inbox. In the real instance, it would be client emails, but my emails are all here. So now if we look at my inbox here, I'm getting all of the emails that would have been sent to the clients. And so it shows the deadline and then all of the outstanding documents that we require from the client. And now that all of the emails have been sent, we can also see that the spreadsheet has been updated. And so client documents that have completed or under review status have email not sent, whereas the outstanding ones have been sent. And that way we can verify completeness and correctness. And so that concludes the full walkthrough of our automation solution for Smith and Salmon LLP. This process saves time and also prevents client requests from slipping through the cracks. Thanks for watching. If you have any other concerns, please feel free to reach out.